Hello everyone, welcome back to the World Conflict Monitor channel. Please subscribe my channel to stay connected with stories of history, power, and technology. Today we are exploring the fascinating and dramatic moment often summed up in the phrase, when F-16 Fighting Falcons ate Hawks for breakfast. This is not just about machines but about eras colliding in the sky, about the raw difference between advanced multirole fighters and humble trainers, and about how progress in aviation can change outcomes overnight. The story in simple terms is this. The Hawk, originally designed by British Aerospace, is a reliable and widely used trainer jet, adopted by many nations to prepare their pilots for the challenges of supersonic combat aircraft. It was even adapted into light combat roles, capable of carrying weapons for limited missions. But when set against the F-16, a jet born in the crucible of the Cold War to dominate frontline combat, the differences are impossible to ignore. In training encounters and comparative exercises, the Falcons overwhelmed the Hawks with speed, power, and systems integration. The phrase, "ate Hawks for breakfast," is a symbolic way of saying the Falcons' superiority was so overwhelming that the contest never felt equal. It was the student standing against the master, and the outcome was already decided before the first maneuver. This contrast provides us with a window into how technology defines air power. Looking at the exterior, the Falcon is a statement in metal and aerodynamics. Its smooth blended fuselage and cropped delta wings give it the look of a predator in flight even while stationary. The air intake beneath its nose feeds a massive turbofan engine, and every curve of the jet is sculpted for speed and maneuverability. The Hawk by comparison has the slim, tidy shape of a trainer, practical, efficient, but without the aggressive stance of a machine meant to dominate dogfights. With straight wings, smaller size, and a form designed to be stable and forgiving for students, the Hawk looks composed and unthreatening. This difference in design language already foreshadows the imbalance in combat performance. One jet was sculpted for survival and lethality, the other for teaching and training. On the inside, the F-16's cockpit changed aviation forever. It introduced a frameless bubble canopy that gave pilots almost panoramic vision, no small advantage when looking for threats in the sky. It adopted side-stick controls instead of the traditional central column, improving precision during violent high-G maneuvers. Digital instrumentation replaced cluttered analog dials, and the heads-up display projected vital information directly into the pilot's line of sight. The Hawk's interior is intentionally simpler. Clear gauges, a straightforward layout, and controls that replicate the fundamentals of flying advanced jets. It was never meant to overwhelm new pilots but to prepare them for the transition. That is why it feels more like a classroom desk compared to the Falcon's command center. Performance is where the gap opens into a chasm. The Falcon, with its afterburning turbofan, surges past Mach 2, climbs like a rocket, and sustains tight turns that test human endurance. Its fly-by-wire control system makes inherently unstable aerodynamics not only flyable but extraordinarily agile. It was designed to outmaneuver and outfight the top fighters of its era. The Hawk is agile in a small arena, nimble at subsonic speeds, and excellent for teaching aerobatics. But it is limited. Its top speed remains below Mach 1, its climb rate modest, and its endurance designed around training sorties rather than prolonged engagements. In mock engagements, the Falcon can close distance, choose its fight, and end it before the Hawk has options. What looks like a contest is really an exhibition of technological progress. When it comes to safety features, both jets show their intended roles. The Falcon was engineered to protect its pilot in high-stress combat environments. The cockpit is reinforced, the ejection seat designed for safe exit even at zero altitude and zero speed. Redundant flight systems, advanced diagnostics, and continuous upgrades ensure survivability. The Hawk, as a trainer, emphasizes safety in a different way. Its forgiving flight characteristics prevent mistakes from becoming disasters. Its tandem seating allows an instructor to intervene. The ejection systems on Hawks have saved countless young aviators learning the craft. Each aircraft protects its pilot, but in distinct ways, one against the chaos of combat, the other against the errors of learning. Unique selling points set them apart. The Falcon's greatest strength is its versatility. It is not just a dogfighter but also a strike platform, a reconnaissance tool, and an air defense guardian. Nations bought it not only for its combat record but also for the ability to adapt it across multiple roles, reducing costs and training demands. The Hawk's uniqueness lies in its universality as a trainer. It has been used by over a dozen air forces, including as the mount of the famous Red Arrow's aerobatic team. For nations building air forces from the ground up, the Hawk offered a reliable bridge between basic flight school and frontline fighters. Each jet sells not only hardware but a philosophy, one about mastering the skies in war, the other about preparing generations of pilots for those wars. When discussing price, the contrast deepens. The F-16 was revolutionary because it offered cutting-edge performance at a fraction of the cost of heavy twin-engine fighters like the F-15. Still, it remains an expensive frontline asset, with per-unit costs running into tens of millions of dollars depending on the variant and upgrades. The Hawk is significantly cheaper, designed to be affordable for training fleets and limited combat duties. For nations with tight defense budgets, the Hawk offered capability without crippling expenses. Yet in terms of combat value, the Falcon's higher cost buys survival, lethality, and dominance. The Hawk's affordability buys access to the world of jets. Both prices make sense in their contexts, but they also explain why one rules the battlefield while the other rules the classroom. In conclusion, the phrase, "when Falcons ate Hawks for breakfast," is not meant to ridicule the Hawk but to highlight the inevitability of progress. The Hawk was never meant to face the Falcon in combat, it was built to prepare pilots who might one day fly machines like the Falcon. When history or training exercises put them against one another, the results were decisive because they were always destined to be. The F-16 proved why it became the backbone of so many air forces, capable of not only surviving but excelling in the unforgiving world of modern warfare. The Hawk continued to prove its worth by turning novices into professionals, a role just as critical though far less glamorous. Together, they illustrate two sides of aviation, one about the spear, the other about the hand that learns to wield it. And that is why this story still resonates today, reminding us that technology moves fast, but the human stories behind these machines remain timeless.